Sir. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Bhanu. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure, sir. And happy to see you after 5 years. You know, after having so many classes with you of competitive intelligence and strategy and complementary
Yeah.
courses.
No, I think pleasure is all mine that you are still remembering me. That's a great achievement for a teacher. So I think I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
Bhanu.
Thank you so
So
much.
before we start, I think I want to ask you how's things going. I mean,
Things
I
are
know we are
pretty
in live.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are pretty good, and with the help of blessings and the efforts we have been putting in collectively over the years, I think it has been rewarding. Finally, getting to join at ESCP and also enjoy my time with family back in my village in Vijayawada, Andhra. So, and in a couple of weeks, I'll be joining ESCP in September start. So
That's
even we
that's really
started
great. That's really great.
yeah, we even started with the online classes as ESCP focuses on first semester being first 2 months, July and August being online, so that everybody has a collective foundations, and then we start the specialized courses in the Paris, Madrid, Turin, and the London campuses as we are spread across the Europe to have a collective European ecosystem for the alumni and also the employers to have a great set. And yeah, thanks for asking. So, how's it going for you? How's it going for you? Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible to me, but I think there was a slight lag which happened just now. But it's okay. I think now it's perfectly okay. I think.
Sure, thank you, sir. And let me once check with the audience if they can hear us properly, and let me once give it a look on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
kindly also check whether this is going live in LinkedIn.
Yes, 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 sir. I assume it is going well. Let me give me one moment. Can anybody confirm in the comment section if at all? Do we get to see the comment section from this?
Just a second, just a second, just a second.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Let us just wait for a minute for Akhil sir to be back, and we'll be starting in a minute.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
think it's working in LinkedIn. I can see that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Even I just
Yeah.
searched, typed it out, and yeah, it's working well. Thank you for the good update. Give me one second.
So most of your audience is going to give a chat to you in LinkedIn, not here. Just to give a call.
Sure, sir. Sounds good.
Because here we both will be there only. It will be going live there.
Yes, sir. Yes, 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 yes. I completely understand that. Thank you for letting me know. That is my first time doing a LinkedIn live, and you
Yeah.
being the expert, thanks for guiding me.
No. That's not the point. I'm just giving a point.
Yeah, and I'm saying it on a very genuine note. Thank you so much. So, sir, I want to know like what has inspired you to choose, after your MBA and also your. I think there's a dual voice from your mobile phone by any chance.
Just a second.
Is there an echo by any chance?
Is it okay now?
Yes, now it is better, sir. Now it is fantastic.
Yeah. So what I was saying. So you were asking me the question that why I choose education industry. That's what the
Yes,
question was.
yes,
I mean, uh, Banu, I think you are also now mature enough that most of the things we plan, and sometimes things happens.
hmm,
So it was both in my case. I mean, in the sense, After my MBA, which I completed, I thought to go into consultancy industry. So I did some consulting jobs for some, but then all of a sudden I in UPS, that was the time that then I was applying for PhD there,
Hmm.
for that matter, for aviation. That's the area, because my master's I did from IIT Delhi, and IIT Delhi said that you need to have 8 years of experience to do a PhD there.
Hmm.
So I don't have 8 years of experience at that time. So I thought not to waste time. So at that time, PhD in UPS was the only one which was giving PhD in infrastructure. I mean, like
Hmm.
aviation, all those. You know the programs how
Yeah.
UPS used to
Hmm.
have.
Yeah.
But then when I applied there, I think the management at that time said that why can't you join us?
Hmm.
So teach as well. And to be very frank, Banu, before that, I never thought that I will be a teacher. Not because of any reason. I was like, I never thought that this is a line which will be given to me. But then, Banu, also I want to tell you that I think, Banu, whether you will agree on me or not, but sooner or later you will also realize that what is good for you or what is best for you will will come to you, no matter what you plan. Uh, so, so if you look at my business education experience, it was much larger than my corporate experience. I mean, in the sense, I did my consultancy, teaching, industry collaborations, everything, and I think it was a good journey altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good, sir. Even I completely understand of how you are actually explaining how the journey has been happening, and thanks to the destiny, you're at the right place and been pretty helpful for so many students just like me. And also the kind of growth you had over the years is pretty inspiring. And when you used to teach without using a PPT by drawing on the board, those were really good memories back then because you don't waste any time. You come to the class, you start the lecture, you tell the story, and then you ask questions, and then you take the feedback, and then you say about the takeaways, and then the way you teach, right, is very fantastic. It's pretty good, and thanks
Thanks.
for doing
Thanks,
that.
man.
And regarding how should a B school student approach as the agenda of this conversation, the agenda of this LinkedIn live webinar is going to happen. So the very first question I'm curious to ask is how should they choose the right course? Because most of the times people choose a course based on their friend or a senior or elder brother has done it, or secondly based on just looking at the title because they don't know what would be the modules, what would be the kind of location they would get employed in. Example, if they want to study fashion, they have to choose somewhere in Europe or somewhere in Mumbai or Goa or Delhi. But doing it in somewhere others would not be equally rewarding. So, how should a student, choose the right course, and what are the things they have to consider while choosing the right course, example specialization? Even if it's BBA or BCom, when you say B school education, this comprises, right? So, how should they choose the right course and right specialization, and in the right campus? What are the things they have to think before choosing the right one?
Thanks, Manu. This is a very interesting and pressing question as well, because that's a question which is there in my time, in your time, and for the current generation. Everyone has the same challenge that uh, how to choose the right course, how to choose the right stream. I hope you're able to hear me clearly.
Yes,
If there
very
is no
good,
issue.
very
Yeah.
fantastic. I
So
hope
I
it
think
is
I
from
think
my end.
I think the answer to that question is not short for that matter.
Hmm.
Okay, so let me put it straight. If whatever, see, the B school education has changed in the last 20 years.
Hmm.
Okay, when I was doing MBA, there was hardly two or three streams which are important. I'm talking about 2014. I mean, it's so long back. It's already 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so at that time, it was hardly HR, finance, marketing, and IT,
Yeah.
or as well as technology for that matter.
Yeah.
And within 2 3 years of time, the startup industry boom up automatically, and then logistics and supply chain came out, and operations became one of the more important subjects. Etc. Digital marketing, I think, became one of the very hyped branch at that time.
Yeah.
So today, after COVID, if you look at it, technology has taken us very center stage in terms of even you do BCom, or BA, BBA, whatever in the B
Hmm.
school education, technology has taken a very important center stage. But having said that, Bhanu, the
Yeah.
core has not changed. That
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
core is that the business is. how you are able to sell a product to get a client. I mean, that's the simple
mm,
logic behind a business. I mean, how much, how to sell a particular product, make sure the product is affordable to the customer, customer
mm,
likes it,
mm,
and you have a USP that so that customer comes to you,
mm.
and that's the logic behind a business. I mean,
Yeah.
forget about whatever technology or branch you take. That's the
Mm,
basic. So my view is, first of all, that let's not take too much pressure in terms of what will happen after 2 years of my MBA or 3 years of my BBA,
yeah.
because you cannot predict completely. Okay, so let's forget that.
Mm,
Second thing is, the students today has to, when it's like IIT JEE,
mm,
to be very frank.
mm,
If you really consider that you should evaluate and try to choose a particular branch,
mm.
I think the responsibility of the student starts much before PG and much before BBA also.
Yeah.
In the sense that when they're in 11th and 12th, they have to have certain understanding and exposure to different industry, different processes, different business acumen. I'm not saying you learn complete MBA, but at least try to understand what are the industries are.
Mm,
Instead of waiting for 12th result and then you have hardly 1 month and then you decide that, okay, let's take three catalogs and
mm,
out of that menu you choose one.
mm.
That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
So at least for 2 years, try to expose yourself, at least theoretically, to the industries which are working for, and
Yes.
choose one which looks very exciting for you. Okay,
Exactly.
it may or may not be your career tomorrow, but at least choose something which excites you. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
that's one important factor.
Mm,
Secondly, why I'm saying is because whatever branch you're going to take in, there is no guarantee after 10 years you'll be in the same branch.
yeah.
Right? So
Mm,
first thing is you have to make sure that you choose your subjects with slight experience in the next, previous 2 years in 11th and 12th, or in terms of PG, in BBA. You
mm,
explore yourself in different areas. I mean, Bhanu, you are the best example. I mean, you did your
mm.
BBA, okay, and the BBA when you were second year, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
you're always constantly trying to explore different areas. What will happen after 2 years? What is the thing which I have to do? I'm saying minus the tension part, at least try to explore all those areas so that your decision making becomes much more easy.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Second thing which I want to really concentrate on, whatever stream you're taking today, NEP has come in India, National Education Policy.
Mm, yeah.
So if your person is doing BBA, let's say major in digital marketing, they can do a minor in finance
Mm,
or minor in computer science, minor in corporate law,
mm,
depends on the different catalogs.
yeah.
Your degree should be a mix of two or three things. I mean,
Mm,
try yourself to be exposing in different areas.
mm.
I mean, that is how it really works.
Yes,
That is
sir.
how it really works.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, just a second.
Yeah, sure. Take your time, sir.
Bhanu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we, sorry, but I think we have to close it in 5-10 minutes because my child is not well.
Okay,
So
sir.
it's complaining, yeah.
Okay, okay. As of
So
now,
I
we
think
have.
you can quickly ask the questions. I think you can close it
Yeah,
out.
sure. Yeah, we can finish it in 10 minutes. So, and thanks for letting me know. So, yeah, even we have 15 audience joined from the LinkedIn, as I can just saw the number of attendees. And thanks everyone for joining this call. And to be more concise and precise, as considering the time constraints. So, the third question I want to ask is how important is the extracurricular involvement and also the networking and relationship building there too? Because most of the time the faculty helps at times with the careers or the guidance or the connecting with an alumni is already working in that. And also, how do they justify this time of networking and relationship building? And also their time in extracurriculars, and how would they be rewarding on the longer run for a B school student?
So for a BSU student, I think extracurricular activity is the most important thing. Because the reason is, I tell you why. Because whatever specialization you're taking in, that's the theoretical part of it.
Hmm.
Most important is how much you're interacting with the students, how much you can take lead, how
Hmm.
much you're not shy, how much you can convince, communicate well with the students. I
Hmm.
mean, all those practices can only be learned when you're in a club activity, you're in a gathering, you're leading an event. I mean, those are the very important initiatives which makes a person different from others. I mean, to be very frank to you, your specialization may have a very minor part to play. It
Yeah.
is always that how much you interact with the students, how much you can and gel with the student. For example, I mean the sense. Okay, to be very frank, Banu, I always say to students that the skill
Hmm.
of a leader is to make sure that he convinces people to do those things
Hmm.
which they generally don't want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, convincing people to do a certain thing which they are not passionate about is a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
Very difficult thing. But
Absolutely.
then convincing them, motivating them, and make sure that you make them do those tasks is a clear skill you can learn in a lot of activities you do in the B school.
That's
I mean,
true.
that is how the whole thing works. So I always say that B school, the club activities really play a lot. Networking, I mean, Bhanu, is not only for important of B school. I would say for everybody, including me. I would say anybody's career, the networking is what makes. See, uh, your career has a lot of factors. So one of the factor is how many people know you,
Hmm.
and the people who know you where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very very crucial. I mean, very frankly, I'm saying
Yeah.
your
Absolutely.
skills, IQ, make you top 10% of the world. It's fine. I mean, there will be many with that.
Hmm.
But where you reach also depends on how many people you know and where they are.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
It's
So
exactly
because
what a top B school offers.
yeah, yeah.
Because even if you go in Mumbai, there would be friends and employers of banks. In Delhi, it is consulting companies. In Dublin, it is technology companies. So where we are, who our friends are, as you mentioned, plays a great role. And
Absolutely.
also, as you mentioned, so one thing really struck me, which is you said the importance of extracurriculars. Many people think that it's only for the certificate of achievement or internship is for the 15,000 rupees stipend. But the people they meet in that process play a significant role on their next steps in the journey. So that's something I found very fascinating on what you just mentioned.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, it's important. It's important. I think what's
So
the next question, Manu? So
One,
we
the
can
next
go
question
close.
is how does a B school student, example, most of the people are actually doing part time, freelancing, or work from home kind of initiatives on parallel with the academic responsibilities they have. Most MBA students, India and abroad. So how do they balance this? How do they plan out their schedule in such a way they have their enough time for personal commitments and also for their academic pursuits to go in balance?
Manu, I think Manu, I think we
Yeah,
close it, sir. I
we'll
think
wrap it up, sir.
this
We'll
question.
wrap it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, sure.
Thank you, audience, for joining. So we'll again do something next month, hopefully.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think, but I can we. What we can do is we can extend this. Don't stop it. You can extend the time window so that you cannot cancel the event. Maybe in afternoon, evening. If I after I come from the
Hmm.
hospital, I think we can do it
Yeah,
again. I
sure, sir.
guess.
We can think about it later
Sure,
on.
sure,
Thank you
sure,
everyone for
sure,
joining. Please carry on, sir.
sure, sure.
And I
Thanks, thanks,
completely, we
thanks.
all understand it. So no, not a problem, sir. Not a problem.
Sure, sure,
Please
sure.
take care of the
Sorry,
sir.
sorry for our trouble. Sure, sure. Thank you.
Not at all, not at all, sir.
Thanks,
It's
thanks,
all. Everyone
thanks,
can
thanks.
understand. Yeah, thanks.
Sure,
Thanks so
sure,
much,
sure.
sir.
Thanks, thanks. Bye, bye.
So, guys, and one more thing I want to touch base on a personal level is the importance of a study abroad semester because let me once join this back. So we have a question from Manojna Nirmolu on how to easily change. Hi Manojna, thank you for asking this question. So the answer would be how to change to analyst from IT sales. So the first thing is how do you impress the employer? Example, you have an employer, your reporting manager. Example, you're working in a company called as, let me say, you're working in a specific company and you want to change. Am I audible, Manojna? Can you please give a thumbs up if I'm audible to you? So, first example, you're working in the sales team, and you can see the people in the IT analyst team or the reporting manager, the director of analyst of business analytics in the very same company, and you can ask them if you can do a project with them in collaboration, and how do you justify that? And it's just like a freelancing project. You can ask them just by saying your genuine interest. It's just like in a movie, side character wants to become a main protagonist, and how do they approach it? Just by asking. Or in a bank, how can an accountant become a bank manager? Just by asking and understanding the business requirements on a longer run. And how do they do that? That's exactly what's going to play a pivotal role in ensuring we get the right people at the right time who would want to take part in it. And that's exactly what we have to ensure while we do it. And secondly, uh, it's about learning skills like Tableau, Python, Power BI, MS Excel. Because you're currently in IT sales, where your technical expertise or exposure would be more onto tools like Salesforce or HubSpot or email, using a software like Freshcaller or Exotel, where you call or you tell and you pitch your ideas. Wherein now you have to see from an analyst perspective on how is the reports and charts and dashboards. So now you would use the Salesforce, again the same tool, but you're not going to use the calling software of it. You would be using the reports and dashboards and the charts to analyze the business outcomes and its long range planning and stuff. So that's where you can actually ask your current employer to ask for a project or an internship or just a coffee chat and explain your ideas with them. And next question we have is, as sir is not available considering his child is not feeling well. So let me wrap up for the time being. So we can again do this call some other time. And regarding my opinion on how important are the soft skills as compared to the technical skills. So the very first aspect we have to understand is that technical skills are coachable. You join Deloitte, Accenture, McKinsey, or BCG, or Google, Microsoft, any company. The very first thing is that as a fresher, when you're seeing from a B school fresher perspective, like an MBA guy, 24 years age, or a BBA graduate, 21 years of age, and what do they expect from you? They wouldn't expect you to know the rocket science or how to run a campaign. They would expect basic things. Can you speak? Can you present? Can you write? And can you talk to people so that they understand what you're trying to explain? What you're trying to convey, is that communication going two-way? That is the first thing many people try to understand. So, considering that very important aspect, you have to ensure that technical skills are foundationally good, not like you're completely rookie in it. It's to ensure you're at least good in it so that later on you can leverage and build more on your core competencies, which will be trained on office. There is onboarding program, there is training program, so that to become an analyst or to become a support to build product management or engineering or anything, like for a business school student, even if they have done BTech before and they want to done an MBA, they can again become a manager engineering, or engineering manager or a product manager, a technical partnership manager kind of roles, wherein they can also use the technical acumen. And if you observe this, they can be trained, they can be taught in these very aspects. But considering that the soft skills cannot be trained after you attain a certain age limit. Even if Dale Carnegie has mentioned that, soft skills has to be nurtured, the sooner the better. After 70 years of age or 40 years of age, it's very hard for a person to change the way they interact with people. So how likable they can be in an office environment, these things would be different. So feel free to text guys if you have any questions, so I can share my thoughts on the very same. Just like Manojana just asked a question, so we can have other questions. Uh, what future trends do we see in AI? What future trends do we see in business school education with the involvement of AI and metaverse? So the first thing is that faculty will be able to talk to you no matter where you are, considering metaverse, and you will have a classroom kind of environment with a VR headset and stuff. And secondly, regarding chat GPT and other generative AI programs, after you study and while you study, Grammarly 10 years ago was questioned on how does this ensure the content is genuine, but now everybody is using Grammarly. 20 years ago, during the keypad, touchpad times, people asked how can a uh, keypad or a keyboard change a typewriter, and now it's so normalized. In the same way, AI will be very normalized. It's the future is going to be for a B school student. How do they talk to AI? How do they give the right prompts? And how can they, example, a content writer roles will reduce a lot because ChatGPT can write good enough content. And this is the very first version we are seeing for the last 2 years. And as it evolves, ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 5, it will be able to do a lot more things, right? Better content than what many other literary students and many other BBA marketing, MBA marketing guys will be able to do. And how do they use it as an assistant and not as a almighty? Because AI, if you start seeing it as an almighty, it will use us. We have to use AI to get our results, and that is what a B school student should be pretty particular and pretty clear about. It's about you should ask it how to write a proper content, give it the right prompt, write me an essay, write me a blog post about personalization trends, which for 2024 would also be applicable for 2025, and write the blog in such a way it is increased readability using rich vocabulary, and the target audience are marketing managers. So you're giving it enough inputs to personalize that blog as deep as possible, as relevant as possible for the target audience. So that is one thing you have to understand and consider while approaching your, while understanding and dealing with AI as a B school student and also as a graduate working later on in the run. And the last question I'm going to talk about is how important is the global exposure in study abroad programs? Example, you'd be having a 2-year MBA or a 3-year BBA, and one semester would be you'd be going for a study exchange semester. And in this study exchange semester, how do you and in this kind of a study abroad semester kind of a thing, how do you approach your uh, peers, network, and colleagues because you're not going for that one semester to get a job in that new country. It's very hard. For people who are already being in that country for 3, 4 years, have a study work permit after they graduate, it's impossible to get a job. So, what instead you can do is focus more on the network, focus more. Example, 5 years down the line after you graduate, you might become a senior manager of sales or marketing or global expansion or international business markets in a complementary or relevant function. And how would you approach it in such a way that your friends in different countries, you're going for study abroad to Sydney, California, London, or Japan, Tokyo, wherever, or Paris or Madrid, how do you leverage this network? How do you ensure the people whom you studied in the classroom, they also are a senior manager roles 5 years down the line? So how would they benefit you to launch a new product or a new feature, new app, a new merchandise in their location? How do they help you do this geographic transition? How do they help you expand and diversify your product line? How do they give you survey and feedback and insights on the how the land and law would be speaking of that specific new geography? So this is where you can network and socialize with them, understand the nitty-gritties of how the new markets would behave to a new culture. The way Norway would take a new product would not be the same way the way Japan or Dubai would be taking it. So you have to understand how the markets would behave while you go for a study abroad semester. And one advice, and as a closing note, as we'll again do it with Akhil sir next week or sooner today, once he is available, as considering his child is not feeling well, he had to drop off from the call. And I'll be touch basing on this one last question we'll be talking as part of the agenda, which is advice for prospective students. See, regarding the jobs, don't always expect the placement team will get you the jobs. They can only take you till the pond. Just like a farmer would take a horse to a pond and the horse has to drink it or not, the water that is available. In the same way, how well you leverage your resources and capabilities and people and facilities and opportunities available at your base completely depends on your merit and competencies. So, considering that very point, it's about our own network, our own learnings, our own skills, and more than the skills, it's about our soft skills. And as a fresher, they're not expecting you technical expertise. If it has it been for an executive MBA, they would be expecting your network and technical and leadership skills. But as a fresher, they would expect most of the soft skills on how coachable you are, how easy are you to mold and coach a new topic, a new skill, because coaching happens. A YouTube video can also teach you. So you're not a replacement there. You're a replacement on how likable can you be in a board meeting. How convincing can you be in a group discussion? So these things matter. So that is what they would be looking forward. And regarding ChatGPT, they can write your as a HR, it can do your work. It can AI bots can call new candidates and they can close candidates. They can write the job description using ChatGPT or Bard AI. Gemini can actually write new content and do the role of a marketers. And every almost every AI nowadays can do the balance sheets, ledgers, and stuff that a finance manager can do. And regarding management consultant, that is something people are now able to get consultants in house instead of actually making them fly. So the business education is going to change on a very significant level, so that you will be understanding it on a very longer run. And wishing you all good luck and great progress as you pursue or venture out into your new business education. So wishing you all great luck, guys. See you all. Thank you all for joining, and please stay in touch.